baseball, boxing, hockey.
And here is Henry Aaron. This crowd is up all around. He's sitting on 714.
I used to think of Hank Aaron as the man with the bat. An immortal of the game, a key part of the ongoing story of baseball in America. I'd think big homers and big moments. But after reading The Last Hero and spending some time contemplating his 1954 rookie card, I now think of Henry as a steady river flowing downstream. Why a river, you ask? Well, stick around to find out as we look into the design revolution that exploded in the mid-1950s, the difference between Hank and Henry, and the things that can happen when a baseball needs a hammer.
One ball and no strike. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away.
What's up, everybody? Alex here with another piping hot cup of coffee. This is an ongoing series that uses vintage baseball cards to explore baseball history. This, of course, is a 1954 Topps baseball card of Henry Aaron, the first mainstream card from his storied career in Major League Baseball. Is it the greatest rookie card of all time? I mean, you'll see this card on a lot of top 10 lists as one of the best, or the most beautiful, or the most important cards ever created. And maybe it's all of those things and more, but I say those are just conversation starters. The real question is, can we look beyond the beautiful, blazing, and innovative 1950s design and see something more than just a coveted piece of rookie cardboard? Can we find the real Henry Aaron? 1954 is the confluence of cultural change. Integration is in full swing. Names like Willie Mays, Monte Irvin, Larry Doby, and Jackie Robinson are known in the American household. 1954 sees the ascendance of perhaps the greatest all-around ball player who wows the world with his acrobatic feats.
What must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
It's the year for a team that pulls everything together with a 111-win season, only to have its triumph snatched away by a New York club that brings home what would turn out to be its last championship for the city. And then there are the rookies. The boy in Detroit that would become Mr. Tiger. In Chicago, the kid who is all smiles and would become Mr. Cub. And then there's the one that stands out from amongst his peers. The young man from Alabama who would go on to break one of the most famous records in all of sports history. He had a different approach, one which coaches didn't have an answer for. Few knew what to do with him, but in the end, they couldn't deny that what he did worked. In the batter's box, he rode the thought of the pitcher and followed through to its conclusion. He aimed to meet the ball no matter what the pitch, no matter what the location. Henry Aaron once said, "I never worried about the fastball. They couldn't throw it past me, none of them." Right from the outset, he faced off against the most worthy of rivals, the man who opened the door, the say-hey kid who could do it all, and the kid in Pittsburgh whose passion fueled every play, every swing of the bat. He would take it to them. Once in spring training, he stole second base twice against Brooklyn. The second time, Robinson landed on him hard and began filling his spikes with dirt. "What are you doing?" Henry shouted. "Making sure you don't try that again," Robinson responded. It all led to an iconic bit of imagery and a sign of things to come. 1954 isn't just the debut of one of the greatest among all-time greats. It's also the dawn of a conceptual reboot of baseball's image. It's a colorful time as media in all its forms continues its acceleration into the American household with bold proclamations and eye-catching imagery, all aimed at an optimistic post-war culture that was eager to advance, make life convenient and exciting, joyful and pleasurable. The game of baseball follows suit, And as an American institution, it's now the strongest it's ever been. This proves to be a turning point in the idea of baseball. The grit of the pre-war era was fast becoming a distant, sepia-toned memory. The game was transforming into a bright and saturated modern media spectacle. Topps and Bowman are riding the design wave with their own innovative approaches and styles. From cereals to meat products, even dog food, other companies get in on the act and put out baseball cards of their own. The result is an absolute explosion of design innovation surrounding the national pastime's surging popularity. Baseball has had heroes from its inception. Now those heroes would come crashing into popular culture like never before. Milwaukee's PR man openly referred to him as Hank, hoping to make the quiet man seem more accessible. The truth was, hardly anyone close to him ever called him Hank. He was Henry. Henry would be honored, but not respected. Like the Elks Club in 1956, when the guest of honor was told to enter the building through the back, and that any of his guests, including his own father, were barred from attending. He was wary of the writers, who always came with an agenda, and often painted him as a simpleton who somehow had found success despite his unconventional approach. In all things, there was Hank, and then there was Henry. Henry was the one who stood on a train station platform in 1952 and said goodbye. It was the most frightened he would ever be in his life. In moments of despair and loneliness, frequent calls back home where he confessed a desire to return and give up the pursuit. But the response was always the same. The future is ahead of you, not back here in Mobile. Hank was the one who tried to answer the questions as fairly as he could, doing the best to sidestep the never-ending onslaught while trying to focus on the game at hand. Henry carried scrap wood from abandoned buildings to help his father build their home. When you own something, his father told him, nobody can take it away from you. He was the one who smacked bottle caps with a stick at any speed, with a clear eye and a firm hand. Playing so long into the night that the neighborhood kids would light rags on fire, throw them up into the air, and swat at them as they descended back to earth. Hank would, for the rest of his life, sign autographs and allow fans to indulge in their memories of his great feats. Henry would visit an institution for mental disabilities in South Dakota, surrounded by enthusiastic children looking for a friend and some kindness. He'd stay for hours, playing the game with them on the diamond, and he would do all of this privately, quietly, with no public knowledge, praise, or fanfare. Henry did his own thing, often on his own. Early in life, it was hooking catfish at 3 Mile Creek in solitude. Later, it would be in the pool halls of the Avenue, smoking with adults in Toulminville, Alabama. Years later on the road, in the midst of chasing Ruth's record, he'd have to try and find that solitude in a hotel room, booked under an alias, while the room, under Hank Aaron's name, remained empty. Now the country would struggle to come to terms with the fact that the man they hardly knew or took the time to fully understand was about to do something no one had thought possible. In mid-century America, cards occupy a meaningful, if somewhat fleeting place in a life that's young and always on the move. In shoeboxes and comic books, on walls and shelves, in pockets and on the pavement, the colorful images on thin cardboard are little windows into a bold and colorful world far from the sanctuary of childhood. One that's filled with heroes and adversaries in distant mythical places that could sometimes be seen in print or through the magic of television. The concerns of childhood would soon be replaced by new chapters with new interests. But the heroes themselves would not disappear. They would merely lay dormant, waiting to be rediscovered. The more Aaron blasted homers, the more Ruth's record entered the discussion. And the closer Aaron got to Ruth's record, the more the threats slithered in. Henry marched towards a record that represented something America believed in and had always stood for, but seldom fully honored. The idea that anyone, anywhere, could make something of themselves if they put their mind to it. Once, with tears welling up in his eyes, Henry said, "I just want to play baseball. That's it."
And here is Henry Aaron. This crowd is up all around. He's sitting on 714.
Once again, a standing ovation for Henry Aaron. So the confrontation for the second time.
How he carried this burden so far for so long is something only he would ever fully know. But carry it he did. As a child, a homemade sign hung above the bed that Henry shared with two of his brothers. And now, here he was in Atlanta, a big-time player on the first Major League Ball club to be based in the South. He had done it 714 times before, with his bare hands and dirt rubbed into the bat handle. His parents were there. All of the world was there. It was his time.
1 ball and no strike. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep. Fastball is a high drive to deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
What a marvelous moment for baseball, Vin Scully said. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. "I just thank God," Henry said, "that it's all over with." Time slowly chips away at pristine and new, leaving behind rounded, wrinkled, faded, and forgotten. Until one day, ages later, when a little extra time and some reflection just might bring it all back. A fresh chance at finding new meaning behind the old cardboard. Hank Aaron was always the man with the bat, a baseball immortal, a key part of the ongoing story of baseball in America. But now when I think of Henry, I see that steady river flowing downstream. Peaceful and consistent on the surface, kinetic and lively within. Steadfast, reliable, and always moving ahead. And if we go with it, we too can move forward and get somewhere greater. So guys, who is Henry Aaron to you, and which of his cards is your favorite? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed this journey, check out more from the series. You'll find a playlist link with more cups of coffee in the description below. I hope you'll join me for another one in the future. Until then, take care, and I'll talk to y'all soon.